Welcome to this week's coffee chat. It's officially Advent, where we prepare and get ready for Christmas.
Yeah.
Are you guys feeling excited for Christmas?
There's
a bit of a pause there.
No, to be fair, I'm not feeling very Christmassy at the moment. With everything going on and trying to work out who's allowed to come and see us at Christmas out of our children, and no, we haven't gone early, as lots of people have. We found out last night we had a senior leadership meeting, and everybody's gone early with their trees and their decks, including you, Jay.
Yeah, so
you wanted in November, wasn't it?
Yeah, I want to explain myself
It's
here
still
because
it still is November.
I want to explain myself because basically we came to the conclusion that this year more than ever you need to work hard to feel Christmassy.
You do.
Okay.
So last weekend, it was not even the last weekend of November. Because we're renting, we didn't want to get a brand new real Christmas tree.
Yeah.
So we just got a fake one. So we were like, we have to go early. We need to proper decorate it. So we had Michael Bublé playing, decorating it all really early. But this year, if there's any year that you can get away with going early, I think it's this year.
I know. We just haven't, and maybe we will this weekend. To
Maybe.
be fair, it's my birthday coming up, and we don't normally go until after then.
Really?
It all gets kind of melded into one.
We don't normally go early, do we? So
I mean, it's good for present buying. Just buy one present for Christmas and birthday.
No, you don't. No, I'm just saying we're not normally going early, and this year it's even worse for us.
Yeah.
So I feel like we will do it.
Are you going to do a Christmas tree?
Yeah, because we've got our grandson coming, so we will.
We've got an artificial tree which fits in a special place in the kitchen. So,
it's a lovely. It's got all lights.
It's narrow. It's a narrow tree, but it works. Yeah.
Nice.
So we will do it. We'll do it next weekend, Jake.
Is
We'll
it
get
pre-lit?
in the Christmas mood.
Pre-lit.
Yeah, it's pre-lit.
So that made me a bit sad seeing pre-lit ones in, because my favourite thing is putting all the lights on it.
Oh,
Yeah, but when you've done that for many years, Matt, you get over it. Trust me, you get over it.
I used to have a tradition where it was always the first weekend of December, which I think lots of people do. But we would always go, me and my mum would go to the nearest, the place where you get the Christmas trees? Garden centre. Yeah. And pick our Christmas tree and then spend hours and hours listening to Michael Bublé, putting on the lights. That. But I'd always get bored after about 10 minutes, and my mum would end up doing it all by herself. So she's probably the same. A little bit sick now of
doing it.
Back in the old days, Jake, when they used to get the lights out of the packet, there'd always
used to put
the odd
candles on
ones.
the tree.
No, we didn't. There would always be lights that wouldn't light when they weren't LEDs, and you'd have to twiddle each bulb and find out which of the bulbs in the coloured lights it used to be. So that was always the thing I can remember from doing it with my mum. Getting them out and going, oh no, there's 7 that don't work.
Oh my life.
And having to change bulbs, and it's not like that now.
No.
So
That doesn't sound quite so fun.
No, it
Well,
wasn't.
it's all part of it.
Who takes the lead out of the two of you in decorating for
Simon.
Christmas?
It's his job, and I let him do it.
Yeah.
I don't mind at all.
Yeah, I do like a nice neat tree, I've got to say. So I normally give Keely and Tina one decoration each.
And tell us where to
They can hang in a place I've specified on the tree for
The children
decoration.
used to
Is it all symmetrical?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's you got to do it right, I mean.
Wow, that is
And
commitment.
tinsel is of the devil, so we don't have tinsel anywhere near the tree. I also got tinsel, but tinsel is just bad. And so tinsel and glitter should just be eradicated from the face of the earth, I think.
Fair enough.
Fair enough, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So we'll have to do a picture of it when we've done it now. You've got a lot to
No, yeah.
Yeah, expecting something very symmetrical.
What
and
he also
perfect,
loves doing
so.
is hanging lights outside in the, like net lights and
Oh,
flashing
nice.
lights and whatever they're called. Not like all over the house, but just subtly. He likes to do that. He likes to be greeted by lights.
I do like lights. Yeah.
I've told you that before. he
Yeah.
loves lights,
Yeah, I
so.
like lights.
Anyway,
Yeah. So we've been put into tier 3
yes.
coming out of lockdown.
1 to 3.
This will go out on
Wednesday.
Tuesday, so it'll be tomorrow
Yes.
that we move from lockdown to our tiers.
Which isn't that different.
No, what does tier 3 look like for us as a church?
No cafe opening for us, which is sadness, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's our biggest sadness. We're continuing on with our services. We decided to open and do services because I think for well-being for people, it's really important. So we'll do those safely, as we've done them before. But I think we're very sad because our cafe really works as a hub for the community to be able to connect in a safe way. So we're sad about that, aren't we?
Very sad.
But apart from that, I think pretty much business as usual, really.
Yeah.
Our pantry project's still going strong. Grow Baby's going very strong. So we've got still volunteers coming in, working safe in those ministries. So yeah, it's just the it's
social interaction, isn't it?
It's very limited. Yeah.
What's Christmas going to look like in terms of having services and kind of doing half services?
Well, we'll be online as always for every Sunday, but on the 20th we'll have our 2 carol services, which will be the same, but it will give people an opportunity to come into the building, bring your friends. Well, obviously meet them here. You won't be able to bring them in the car. So yeah, we're just doing our best. It'll be some recorded content, some live in the room. So it's not going to be the same, but people still need Jesus, and we will still be telling the story of Jesus. And so yeah, we're just going to do our best to make it as Christmassy as possible and still do a carol service.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's
great. So yesterday or Sunday, we had a talk from Putty Putman. Talk about order into chaos. Was there anything that you guys particularly took away from this talk?
Well, he talked about bringing order out of chaos, and he talked about in Genesis how God formed the earth and brought order out of total chaos, and that was really interesting. And he said how that's happened throughout the Bible, and he was really saying about the chaos that we find ourselves in now, and the responses that we can have to that. So he was saying you can either look around and say the world is a total mess, everything is awful and chaotic, and I can't do it, and I'm losing hope really. Or he said that because the chaos is so big, it means God's response will be equally as big and creative, and that he's always in the business of restoration and healing, and therefore God is still doing things even though everything seems very chaotic. And he reminded us and challenged us to stay connected with the Holy Spirit and to partner with him and say, where can I be involved? So, we still offer to pray for people, we still talk to people about Jesus, and just believe that the kingdom is still coming, even though things are really tough and it seems like it is chaos all around. So I found that quite challenging.
So I guess he's given us something to kind of be positive about, excited about. But does that mean that we always need to be positive? We always need to be excited about this time?
I don't think so, because I think to be human is to be able to live in the tension of the good and the bad. Remember Rick Warren years ago saying that actually life is like twin railway tracks. There's always good stuff happening and bad stuff happening at the same time, and we kind of run on those 2 rails. I think sometimes there's a myth that to be a Christian is always to be, I think to be positive in the sense that God is doing stuff. But you look at the life of Jesus, and he was ushering in the kingdom. There was definitely order being coming from the chaos. He was bringing in the new kingdom, but he was a man acquainted with sorrows. He had happy times. He wept. He experienced the whole range of emotion. I think it's very important at this time as people to be able to, I have down days, I have grumpy days, I have up days. I can't always point to something specifically that's made me feel that way, but I think just being in this cycle of where we are now, I think it's just recognising emotion. That's okay, and we haven't got to sort of compartmentalise ourselves into sections just to try and be more Christian. I think it's okay to recognise that we know God's working, but some days we see it more than others, and some days we feel better about that than others. And I think for this Christmas time, I think it's all about recognising that this year's been tough, but equally there is hope. And so I think
that's the thing that gets you out of those dark places when you're following Jesus, is to know that there is hope, and it is okay to feel down and to have sorrow and feel that things are really hard and tough, but actually you then remember that there is always hope in Jesus, and that's the thing that constantly brings me back when
I phoned a pastor the other day and I said, how are you? He said, do you want the church answer or do you want the honest answer? And I think it was really nice for him to be able to say, actually, it's a bit tough for me at the moment. So I think the important thing as people and as church and as community, we're actually able to be honest with each other and not fear sort of rejection or fear being judged because we're not up that day. Because you might be on a down day and someone else might be on an up day. And I think we can really encourage each other in that, and actually recognise that together the body of the church functions really well. But it doesn't always mean we've got to be up.
And I think part of partnering with the Holy Spirit is to remember that we can be Jesus to people, and at Christmas especially, there will be people who will be on their own because of the tier system, because their family might not be able to come, and remember to reach out and ask Jesus how we partner with him, and say who can we ring or pop something round, just on the doorstep, just to say, we're thinking of you, and remembering that it will be harder for some people than others.
Yeah, that's really interesting, really helpful. Great, so hope you enjoyed this week's coffee chat, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye.